Hello, everyone. My name is Raven, and welcome to Raven67854 Gaming, and welcome back to my Left 4 Dead 2 tutorial series. We're on episode 22, and in this episode, we are going to look at prop_dynamic. Now, what is prop_dynamic? Your initial reaction is probably going to be, well, it's a dynamic prop, which, to be fair, is correct to a degree. However, it is not like a physics prop. So, when you think of dynamic, you think of something that moves and so forth. And basically, prop dynamic is used for any sort of prop that is animated. You can also store embedded physical data, but you have to use prop dynamic override instead. But what prop dynamic is very useful for is like buttons and levers, things you interact with. Or if you had something that I don't know, let's say you had like boards over top of this, right? And, you wanted them to be destroyable, and then the player could climb through the window. Well, you would use a prop dynamic for that. What we're going to do is we are going to put a fan up here, and then we're just going to have it spin. Just a basic, this is how you use it. And the reason we are doing all of this is because we are going to need it for when we do the elevator very soon. So we'll look for prop dynamic. Actually, you know what? Let's do prop static first. And then let's bring it up over here. Make sure our grid is at 16. And then what we're going to do is I am just going to try and position this. That should be good. Okay. And then I'll just double click it. And then we'll go into the world model. And what we're looking for is not that. This will work. The fan ceiling 32. Okay, and then we'll hit apply. And then we'll go up here and we'll just, we'll make sure that it's nice and flush. Okay, so this part, obviously, of course, doesn't do anything at all. Now what we want to do is open up our dynamic here. And we will hit enter there. And then we will go in here. Now we have a bunch of options in here, but first let's get our fan. So we're going to grab this fan right here. It's fan _ ceiling _ blade. And if you go into sequences, you'll see that it has an idle animation and a spin animation. And we'll just double click this and then hit apply. Okay. So now what we need to do is this looks fine. It's we're just going to duplicate this. And that went somewhere. There we go. Okay. And actually, I think I'll just open it up in here. And then in the pitch, yaw, and roll, I'll just set this to 90. And then hit apply. Okay, very cool. So now let's take a look at everything that's in here. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff in here. And some of it we're actually going to cover when we do like buttons and stuff. So there's a whole lot of stuff in here. You can set the skin, the body, stuff we've talked about before. You can disable whether or not it casts shadows. You can attach entity scripts to it. You can set a damage filter. And the help here is, fairly, consistent. Explosion radius, stuff like that. You could set the render mode, whether or not it's an alpha or not, color. You can disable receiving shadows. You can set the fade distance because, again, you don't necessarily want this, rendering really far away, but, we can use the fog and the vistries in this particular area in order to do this. Now, very important here. If you go into model and you select spin, you'll see that it is spinning. Both of them are, in fact. But you'll also, if you were to run this right now, nothing would happen. And the reason for that is the default animation is not set to spin 01, which is the name of the animation. And then you hit apply. Now, the other rather useful thing down here is you can tell it to randomly animate, and you can also set it to you can change the min-max animation time. And basically, you can have it do random different types of animation. Now, for this, probably not that great unless you just wanted a really glitchy fan. So I'll hit cancel here. And then I will select the other. Actually, I think I got both of them, didn't I? I'm just double checking here. Make sure. Ah, there we go. Okay. You know what would really help? Like really, really help? Is if I were to go into properties here and set the spin back to the idle animation. Okay, perfect. Okay, now let's go into this class info here and let's set it to spin 01. The fans were getting kind of annoying because I couldn't select the one that I wanted. Okay, perfect. So now, again, we don't really necessarily want it spinning, inside the editor, but you could take a look at like what it does and so forth. Now we're just going to run the map. And it's going to build everything. And then it's going to launch. And we're going to just chill out here for just a second. As we, slowly but surely wait for this. And eventually we are going to cover how to set up like, custom posters and, all that sort of good stuff. But for now, we're finally also getting to the point where we can do nav meshes. So now if we go up here, you can see we have a fan. It's up there. It does cast shadows. You can sort of see it up there, right around there. And it just spins. There's, nothing really all that special to it. But we have a dynamic prop. And if we're just going to go up here, type in exit to close this. And another thing we can do is, obviously, of course, you can enable damage. You can enable, like, lag compensation, as it says, use very sparingly. But you can enable quite a lot of stuff. Okay, so that's it for the prop dynamic. As always, I always put the link into for the wiki in the description. So, like, if you have any issues or, like, you just want to see some stuff. And the wiki tends to have a lot of very useful extra examples and so forth, like how to set stuff, like what it might be used for, all kinds of very useful stuff on the wiki. And when we get to the elevator, that's when we're really going to cover a lot of stuff. And I may end up making another tutorial on, some more specifics as to what you can use it, like maybe like an area where, you actually have to like, tack your way through in order to, damage it. So I will see you all in the next one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can become a member by either hitting the join button or a link in the description. And as well, don't forget, you can always join the Discord if you run into any issues or anything like that. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.